Disclaimer. This is a work of satirical fiction. Any resemblance to real places or situations is purely coincidental and exaggerated for comedic effect. The story intentionally contains factual inaccuracies and absurdities as part of its artistic expression.
Yeah, we're in Mexico City. It's been awesome, actually. I've actually never really walked around Mexico City. Not just from club to club or strip club to strip club, like 10 years ago in the daytime, but actually just walking around. I've been walking around Roma Sur area, which I didn't even know much about. Super, super nice. Incredible vibe. And I actually just went for a walk because I just felt like it. And I thought I'll bring my camera, maybe I'll talk about some stuff. There's actually not a ton of stuff to talk about. There is some stuff, like the Antichrist, I'll get into that. But not like a ton of big things. There's Charlie Kirk stuff, but that's over. There's the Epstein stuff, but that's over. I'll get into that. But just thought I'll just go for a walk. Actually, something about me has changed. In just the last week. I don't know exactly how to put my finger on it, but a few days ago, all of a sudden, I just felt this incredible amount of peace. Like most of my life, I guess you could call me, or I used to be, like a type A personality. Always had to be doing something. If I had nothing to do, it's like, oh, gotta find something to do. Gotta be productive, gotta do something. In the last few days, I'm just like, I don't have to do anything. I can do things, and I do things, but do I have to? No. And man, it's been so nice. I think it's a lot of the work I've been doing with Christoph Melchizedek, actually. Anyway. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you didn't see our intro video, but that's by Brother Ali, who's a pretty awesome rapper from like the old school, from like the 90s. And actually one of the rappers who's always stuck to his actual message and stuff like that, rather than just, sex, drugs, girls, all this sort of stuff that most of the rappers have been doing. And a great track too, Uncle Sam, so on point. And he actually is speaking at the Anarchapulco Expression of Freedom event, the Nonconformist series. It's actually going on this weekend. By the time you see this video, it'll probably be mostly over, actually. But you can still get all the replays. And he's actually been talking about how he actually has a school to teach people how to rap, and not to become like famous rappers, but to learn how to express themselves. That's pretty cool. There's like dozens of speakers like that on there. I really recommend it, especially for people who are just stuck on their screens, kind of feeling depressed, kind of lost, because a lot of the stuff talked about in this event is how to reconnect with your creativity, because you are a creator, you are creation. I know most people who actually really need to see that kind of stuff and start doing that sort of stuff won't do it. That's always the funny thing about this matrix. The people who really need something will never even consider doing it. But anyway, if you feel like maybe you should watch some of these things and see if you can get into your creative side, see the world in a different way, the beauty of it all. And man, look at the beauty of this. This is incredible, right downtown Mexico City. And there's beauty everywhere, which actually, if you don't see, it actually is kind of like a skill. It's like a thing you work on, like going to the gym. Because I remember years ago, I'd be sitting there drinking and depressed, saying how this world sucks. And I had all these hippies around me, and they'd always go, you just need to learn how to see the beauty in everything. And learn how to love yourself and all these things. And to me, that sounded just crazy. But it's actually true. It's actually something you can do. Just, if you don't see the beauty in things, just try to like fake it. Fake it till you make it. That's how a lot of stuff works. Because what actually happens is, as you, like for example, if you don't see the beauty here, just tell yourself, this is beautiful. Just keep saying it to yourself. This is so beautiful. Even if you don't see it. You know what happens? It rewires your mind. And all of a sudden you start to see the beauty in a lot of things. Anyway, hey, you want to talk about the news or something? Getting all upset that I'm not getting right into everything here? You want your money back? Just, put it down below. Make sure to get your money back for this free video on BitChute. Go put your complaints down there. I'll never see them. And I definitely won't be messaging you on there trying to get your crypto either. There's a whole other world going on out there on BitChute. But there is some things to talk about, though. And one thing that I mentioned, that South Park thing with Peter Thiel really got my attention. There was so many things dropped in there about dates, Revelation 6:7. It's all going to happen in the next 6 to 7 weeks, which I actually computed out to be from November 26th to December 3rd. And as I was, even after my last video, I noticed again something else I didn't quite notice. They like super zoomed in on December 3rd. He like just points at it because that's the date the Antichrist is coming. I know a lot of people are probably saying, Jeff, you're crazy. You think South Park's going to tip us off to like when the Antichrist is coming? It's like, well, it's not like The Simpsons or Family Guy's never done that before. And they're all in the same club. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Those are super interesting dates to me, though, for personal reasons, actually, which I actually can't tell you in this video. But you're going to see around those dates. I'm going to be doing some very important things for me personally and possibly for the world right around those dates. And it all kind of just magically happened. You'll see. Come back in about a month, a little over a month, in 6 to 7 weeks, you could say, 5 to 6 weeks now. It's going to be very, very interesting. This 3D video game is so amazing. Oh, and by the way, someone forwarded me a clip from Rick and Morty. And I've actually never watched the show. I don't watch anything. But whenever someone sends me a clip, I'm like, that's pretty good. It's actually not bad. And they sent me this video of this clip of it. And they basically said, the Rick and Morty clip basically explains exactly what you think this reality is. And so I watched it. And yeah, this is basically what I think reality is. And Rick and Morty kind of explain it in a really funny, awesome way. But when people say, Jeff, what are you talking about? You don't think this is like real? Well, it's not. And I can even explain that scientifically. It's all information. And it's all your experience and your consciousness. But is it actually real? Well, I don't think so, especially after about 5 years of meditating every day for hours per day. But what I think it is, and I've said this numerous times, and note I don't say simulation. Something about that word doesn't ring true to me, because that sounds to me like there's no actual, you're actually not playing the game, you're basically like watching the game. I think you're actually playing the game. I could be wrong. I could be wrong on everything. I don't know. I can't prove any of this. But I think this is like a 3D video game that we play for fun. And it's also like a true man show because other players, especially outside of the game, can watch if they want. Because it's very entertaining, a lot of this. And also there's all kinds of drama and sad. It's like watching an amazing movie. Almost everyone on Earth, if they're old enough, has gone through something incredible, whether it's horrible and how they get through it, or not get through it, or it's amazing, and they're falling in love and all these synchronicities. Every single person's got their own incredible movie, which I call your true man show. But anyway, I think Rick and Morty perfectly explain in this clip, basically, not exactly, but basically, what I think it all is. And just FYI, for people on YouTube, you didn't see the intro video from Brother Ali, because they won't let us, and you're not going to see this Rick and Morty clip, because they won't let us. And there's going to be numerous other things in this video you won't see, because YouTube is horrible. It's horrible, YouTube. But we post there just because we can. But if you want to see all this stuff, you should be watching us on Vigilante.tv is the best. Highest quality, you can download everything. There's also BitChute, which is great. Rumble, pretty good. Odyssey, and numerous others actually. But anyway, we'll have all the links to all those down below if you want to find them. And you should, because what you're seeing on YouTube is like half of it. But anyway, I'm going to play that clip here, and for the people on YouTube, you can just sit there and go, well, I wonder what that was all about. So that's what I think all of this is. And it probably is, by the way. Like, it probably is. Like, I've done a lot of deep thinking on this, a lot of meditation. It might not be exactly how they put it in that Rick and Morty clip, but it's something like that. And so give that some thought. If that's what it is, are you actually playing this game? Like, if you knew this was a 3D video game that you're playing, would you actually play it how you're playing it? If not, change it. Like, even in that Rick and Morty clip, they're making fun of him. It's like, oh really? After you survived the cancer, you just went back to work at the carpet store for 20 years? All this is funny. Actually, at the end, it's all funny. It's all a comedy at the end. Doesn't seem like it sometimes, especially when bad things happen. I saw someone post, because I was posting about the beauty of everything. Everything's perfect. And I saw someone post, well, it's not for me right now. My pet just died. It's like, yeah, no, that sucks and that's horrible. I've gone through it. And that's part of the video game too. But in the end, you see it's all beautiful. In the end, you find out, like, Lucy was you. Lucy was pure love. Everything's pure love. It just doesn't seem like it inside the video game. Speaking of Lucy, I didn't bring apples today because she's just not, she can't do Lucy's job. She just can't. I love her. She just can't do Lucy. No one can do Lucy's job. So anyway, I guess I should get into this. Should I actually get into this video? You want to put some more complaints down below? What's going on? What am I watching here? I want to know the news. Oh really? Y'all stuck in the material world? Okay, I'll give you some news. How about this? That Charlie Kirk stuff sure went away, didn't it? Just like the Epstein files. They're so good at what they do. They're so good. There is a few people who have kept on with it, though. And one of them is Candace Owens. And she's actually been doing a pretty good job of it. Now, of course, she was a friend of Charlie Kirk, so of course, if anyone's going to be sticking on this for as long as they can, it should be her. It's kind of interesting. She's basically saying what I've been saying now. That it was actually the U.S. government. It's like Trump and Vance and all of them, the club, the cartel, that were behind doing it.
We just know. We just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? They're like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock it off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you. They're like holiday and a boulevard. And it's never on the nice side of town either. Like Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not going to be a nice side of town.
That's pretty interesting. Now, here's the thing, though. I already knew this was true, and you could just tell by all her hand signs and stuff. But she's actually come out and said it.
I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA.
So she's putting out a lot of good info. But it's one of those things, you know, when you know they're a Mason, it's like you really don't feel like you can trust what they're saying exactly. Or why are they doing that? Because a lot of people who call themselves Masons are usually not, they're usually deceiving in various ways. You know, it's like if, for example, if someone came up and we're talking and they go, I'm a Mason, I'm immediately going to be a little bit cautious, right? It's like, okay, you just admitted you're in this cabal that does a lot of crazy and bad stuff, although not all. Some of it's actually okay, sometimes. But still, it's like, or like if someone said, I'm Jewish, it's like, okay, a little bit cautious here. Like, you know, it's not racist or bigoted or any of those stupid words. It's called pattern recognition, and it's being smart. It's like, okay, you just gave me some information about something you're involved in, which has a lot of very nefarious things quite involved. Not with everyone. I'm not saying all Masons are like, if someone said, I went to a Mason lodge, if I got to know them, they're like, yeah, I'm not into all the satanic stuff and all that. I just, you know, going for this or that. Or I wanted to find out what it is. Okay, maybe. I'll still be a little suspicious, but, because you always have to be a little bit. And, you know, same thing with the Jews. It's like, I have friends that call themselves Jewish. Not many, because a lot of them have stopped calling themselves that, which is good, because you really shouldn't call yourself that unless you believe that everyone should be your slave and that you are a chosen person, and you want to basically destroy everything on earth, and you become like a god. That's kind of basically what they believe. So again, if someone tells me, hey, I'm Jewish, it's like, okay, a little bit of suspicion here, like be careful around this person. And it's not because all people who call themselves Jewish are nefarious or bad or evil, but as Larry David said, it's many.
Which is that many of the predators, not all, but many of them, are Jews.
So anyway, getting back to Candace Owens, it's very interesting. She's been carrying on with this Charlie Kirk stuff, which is great in my opinion. I think it needs to continue to be said that was not what they said it was. Now, does she have some sort of nefarious Masonic sort of a reason for doing that, controlled opposition? I don't know. I've also mentioned numerous times that I think we're at a point where the energy is shifting, and we're actually going to see some people actually saying the right things and doing the right things and saying the truth and not lying. Even well-known people. Could that be Candace? Maybe. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll always see. In the end, we'll see everything. This is all like it's taped as well, just so you know. Your whole Truman Show, we can go back and watch it again if we want. Most of you, we don't want to watch too much. It's pretty boring. You're just sitting there eating chips, drinking beer, masturbating. But some people do some incredible stuff and have incredible lives. And yeah, sometimes you might want to watch it a couple times. Oh, there's lots to watch. There's like billions. But anyway, so that's interesting. And then I saw a video from Greg Reese, who's put out so much great stuff. And I actually just posted this to X, to him. I'd like to invite him to come speak at Anarchapulco, coming up February 15th to 20th in Puerto Vallarta, which is going to be amazing. It really is. You don't know why yet, but you'll find out soon. We haven't announced hardly anything yet. It's going to be the best one ever. So anyway, if Greg Reese gets passed this along to him, I'm trying to get in contact with him. I'd like to have him speak if he's interested at Anarchapulco. And he put out this video on Mormonism. And you know, just like with the Jews, a couple years ago, I had to like look into it. And wow, what a rabbit hole. Woo! You know, you think you go through these rabbit holes, 9/11, yeah, sure, moon landing, yeah. World War II, blah, 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 central banking, obviously. You get the Jews like, wow, way down, like free fall. You're like screaming as you're going down. It's like, what? Not all Jews.
But many.
So then I see this video from Greg Reese, and I'm going to play it in a second. You won't see it on YouTube, by the way. You guys on YouTube, what are you doing? Why? Why do you have such a shitty life? You can't get anything good there. Anyway, You should go. We'll have the links to this video down below, to our channel and all the other places. You just go click, you can go watch it there right now. So I'm going to play this whole Greg Reese video. It's about 4 minutes. And he talks about Mormonism. And like I said, I spent the last few years looking into the Jews. Wild ride. Wild. I've apologized to people I bitched to who always tell me, Jeff, you never talk about the Jews. It's like, I didn't know about the Jews. It's not like I know everything. But once I do start looking into things, I find out so much information. And now, here's the thing. This Charlie Kirk obvious false flag, what about it is real? I have no idea. It's probably zero. But I don't know. But one thing's clear, it's totally was not what they said it was. Absolutely, that's clear. You'd have to be such, I don't even want to use the word retard, because I love retards. I think if everyone on earth was a retard, it'd be the best world ever. There's even some pretty retard women. So I won't even use the word retard when I say, if you believe the official story, you are like, I don't even know how to explain what you are. And I know no one watching this video believes the true story, the real story. Because it just, if you've somehow found this video, you've at least woken up a little bit. But it started to occur to me as I'm watching this Greg Reese video about the Mormons, that all that stuff happened at like the stronghold of the Mormons in Utah. Like that's their headquarters. And I didn't know much about the Mormons, except for something about funny underwear or something, magic underwear or something. Again, I hadn't really looked into it. So when I saw this Greg Reese video, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And that's kind of interesting because all this stuff was done right there in Utah. So if they were going to do something, that would make a lot of sense for them to do it there where they've got a lot of their people there. But anyway, I'm going to play this Greg Reese video, and you can see how tied in the Mormon stuff is with the Jew stuff.
Born in 1805, the story goes that 14-year-old Joseph Smith was visited by God and Jesus Christ, who called upon him to restore the true church in preparation for the end of the world and the second coming of Christ. He later transcribed what became the Book of Mormon. According to this new religion, Jesus and Lucifer are brothers, and their father, God, is a human man with a physical body. This God is one of many gods, and he has multiple human wives who give birth to billions of living souls that are sent to earth in order to learn how to become gods themselves. But the most important Mormon belief is Zion. They believe that in 600 BC, their Jewish ancestors fled Jerusalem, built a boat, and sailed to America, where Jesus Christ visited in 33 AD. Mormons were taught that they must find the New Jerusalem in America, and were told that it will be on Lamanite borders, meaning there will be Native Americans there to deal with. They expanded from New York to Ohio and Missouri, but found it difficult to get along with the locals. After going to war with the Missouri militia, about 10,000 Mormons were forced to leave the state in 1839. They then went to Illinois and established their own city, which soon became one of the largest in Illinois, and was granted a charter that allowed them their own municipal court and a militia. In 1841, over 50 years before Theodore Herzl's first Zionist Congress in Switzerland, the Mormons ceremoniously dedicated Palestine for the return of the Jews. Also that year, Smith announced that the angel demands polygamy. Within 3 years, he takes on 40 wives, including girls as young as 13. Like the Masonic order Daughters of Rebecca, they adopt the symbol of the beehive, a symbol of cooperative industry, and Mormons were encouraged to breed and expand. Many took child brides. In 1842, Joseph Smith, who came from a family of Freemasons, was given the rare honor of becoming a Mason on site, meaning that he did not need to do any of the work. Along with other leading church members, Smith was initiated into Freemasonry through all 3 degrees with the wave of the Illinois Grand Master's wand. Within months, thousands of Mormons were initiated into Freemasonry and were using their lodge to grow members of the Mormon Church. The official Mormon endowment ceremonies were introduced, and they reflected Masonic rituals. In 1844, Joseph Smith announced his candidacy for U.S. presidency. and shortly after was charged with treason and locked up in an Illinois jail, where he was murdered and fell from the window with the Book of Mormon in hand, as the story goes. Joseph Smith was now a martyr, and his prophecy was proven to be true when the Mormons were forced to leave Illinois in 1846. They then began their exodus to the Utah Territory, where they massacred the indigenous population and found their New Jerusalem. The U.S. government allowed the Mormons the freedom to colonize the West and expand their manifest destiny. But after the dirty work was done, polygamy was federally outlawed, and the once anti-American Mormons became hyper-patriotic and made the all-American nuclear family their new public image. The entire Mormon religion is based on the belief that the world will soon end and that a Jewish state must be created in Palestine. The LDS Church, who identify as descendants of ancient Israel, was the only religious organization to officially support Israel's creation in 1948. In 1989, Mormons founded a university in East Jerusalem. The LDS Church is worth billions today. They are the main contender for the most Zionist organization of America. And Charlie Kirk said that half of his team were Mormons. Greg Reese reporting.
So there's, for all the people who are suspecting that Israel or Zionists or Jews or whatever were probably involved in that, which is almost like 100% for sure, it's interesting to know that that area is mostly Mormons, but they're also tied in with the Jews. So it's like a Jewish sort of an area as well, where they did this event. Kind of interesting. And as I've been like discovering all this, it's just become more and more clear. And I think most people are starting to actually notice now. It's like, seems like whatever these Jews, Zionists, Israelis are, they're like in control of everything, and they're doing so many things, like almost every event, almost every company, almost everything in the financial business, almost everything in the entertainment business. They control it. And they do all these false lies. They even went on 60 Minutes and said they did, and no one seemed to notice.
We create a pretend world. We are a global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors. We're the producers. We're the main actors. And the world is our stage.
But once you start noticing, it's like so obvious. Like, for example, what's one of the things that the peace president, Donald Trump, they've been saying they're going to be attacking next? Venezuela. Why Venezuela? Beautiful women, beautiful place. They've had a lot of problems with communism, which is mostly going away. It's just communism can't last very long. It's actually been becoming more and more free market over the last few years. So why is the U.S. empire going to go attack Venezuela? Well, they say the drugs. Oh, the drugs. The drug war. And they've been blowing up boats. If you're in a speedboat around Venezuela, which can't even, like, those speedboats go like 200 miles. So it's not going to the U.S. It's probably just some speedboat. They just blow it up. But Pete Hegseth, director of war, has got his Knights Templar tattoo. He's been in Puerto Rico all planning their invasion of Venezuela. It's like, what? It's so ridiculous. But then, when you look at it, Maduro has been very outspoken against Israel. And did you know the opposition party leader has been very pro-Israel? Yeah, like Maduro said, Israel's massacre in Gaza is the most horrific genocide since Hitler. Hitler didn't do a genocide, but anyway. But then his opposition person, Maria Corina Machado, said Venezuela's struggle is Israel's struggle. Well, the Venezuelan politician that supported Israel in carrying out a Holocaust just won, drum roll please, the Nobel Peace Prize.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Am I talking to Maria Corina Machado?
Hablo con María Corina Machado.
Yes, this is Maria Corina.
Sí, soy María Corina.
Maria Corina.
Sí, María Corina.
My name is Christian Bergard Pikin. I am the secretary
Me llamo Christian Bergard Binken.
Nobel Committee.
Soy el secretario del Comité Noruego del Nobel en Oslo. Y le llamo para informarle que en unos minutos se anunciará aquí en el Instituto Nobel
Shall be
que se le otorgará el Premio Nobel de la Paz 2025.
Institute that you will be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025.
Oh my God.
Dios mío. Dios mío.
So warmest congratulations to you, Maria.
Muchas felicidades, María.
Starting to see how all this stuff ties together. Everything's like basically controlled by and run by these, actually Khazarians. They're not even what they say they are, which it should be no surprise because that's all they do. These sort of people, that's all they do is lie, cheat, steal, kill, rape. And so it should be no surprise that all these things they control all these things. It's incredible. A lot of people are starting to notice. But a lot of people are got fooled by the whole Trump thing, which I see more and more every day. I see it almost every day now. It's kind of nice to see. A lot of the MAGA type people, the Q patriot type people, just one by one going, we got fooled. It's like, hey, listen, it's okay. It's okay. Everyone gets fooled. I've been fooled by numerous things in my life. I'm probably fooled by numerous things right now. There's probably major things I don't know that I think is true that isn't true. So don't feel bad. And actually, anyone who comes out and says it goes up way bigger in my books. If you can actually come out publicly and admit that you were wrong on something like that, that actually shows you're a pretty decent person, in my opinion. And I've been seeing so many of them coming out, and just as you can't deny it at this point. How can you deny it? Oh, wait a sec. Hang on. Oh, I might be totally wrong. I'm just getting a report coming in. Oh, sorry guys, I was totally wrong. I'm getting this from, let's go to Wolf Blitzer.
I'm in the situation room,
Yes, Chef. Kash Patel's having a press conference right now. We believe he's about to announce that they're going after all the Epstein victimizers. They found the true killers of Charlie Kirk. They actually they've looked into 9/11 and they're going to be announcing that. So let's go right to the press conference right now.
To announce a historic arrest across a wide-sweeping criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Casa Nostra. The men and women up here standing with me represent a small portion of the leadership team that brought profound justice in an era that needed it more than any. I'll just highlight some of the details in the case and the FBI work, and then you'll hear from the others. But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today, former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra.
If you are going to bet on the NBA games, just know that here at the FBI, we are going to catch you, okay? We are the FBI, the Federal Basketball Inspectors. Stop asking me about the Epstein files. The Epstein files have nothing to do with the basketball. Okay, time for Corey.
Oh, they did it again. Yeah, it wasn't. They weren't releasing the Epstein stuff, going after all the people, including the ex-prime minister of Israel, who it's come out now, was brutally abused Virginia Giuffre, who's of course dead. They killed her. And no, they didn't release that the government was actually behind the Charlie Kirk thing. Same with 9/11. They didn't release any of that. You see, Kash has been focused, as he said. They've had countless agents on this for years, just watching everything, trying to find people who are gambling. I know it sounds stupid. And I actually saw a couple. I saw Cat Turd, of course. Cat Turd on X is obviously a CIA bot. And I saw numerous other of them, like the Gunther Eagleman and all these sort of people. They're all bots, paid off CIA people. But they're like, yeah, go get him, Cash. You see, this is what I voted for. Really? Is that what you voted for? Is to have the government look into for years that a couple basketball players might have thrown the ball a little badly once, so they made a little bit extra on a sports bet. Or there was a poker game where they could see the cards. Oh my gosh, that's the big stuff. That's what they had just released. Huge press conference. Cash Patel. It's like, we got him, guys. You know, got these people in the land of the free. And, you know, it took years, but they finally got him. Epstein, pedos, January 6th, Mar-a-Lago raid, AutoPen, 2020 stolen election, COVIDs, Fraudzy and Big Pharma collusion, Benghazi, Doge, Ukrainian impeachment, hoax. Nah. Cash Patel's going after the illegal gambling rings. Yeah, I didn't even bring up the COVID. They tried to kill everyone, Trump and everyone. Kill Gates, the Pfizer guy, Burla, all of them. They tried to kill everyone in the US. No, not going after them. In fact, they're actually doing way better lethal injections made by AI. But now they're going after there was a couple of basketball players who threw a couple games and made a few bucks. And one of the guys was a basketball player named Terry Rozier, who you can pretty much see in these videos. There's definitely a few times he appeared to be throwing the game. And so the allegations are that Terry Rozier, that player, and a couple other players, it was like hardly anyone, were making bets and making money on like throwing a certain game at a certain time and stuff like that. And the first thing that came to my mind was, those basketball players, they're all like billionaires. They're 100 millionaires, all of them. Like, they make so much money. Why would they throw it all away to make a couple bucks? And it really can't be that much. Like, you can't bet massive amounts on a lot of the stuff that they were betting on. Like, they were betting a certain over-under. So if they're close to this over-under amount, they'd like do what Terry did there and just throw the ball away, and then they get the under. But those things you can't bet like more than like 10,000, 50,000 max sort of a thing on, because there's not a liquid market for those sort of things. So apparently, if this is true, he was like throwing away his entire career if he got caught, and it looks like he did, for like nothing. And so actually, I looked up, how much money has that guy made? His current contract is nearly $100 million. His lifetime NBA earnings is $160 million. And that doesn't include all of his incentives, bonuses, endorsements. So the guy's like a quarter billionaire. You know, I was thinking just the other day, if you're like a 6'8" black guy with like a huge penis, and you have like the body of a Greek god, because most of them do, like they're just so perfectly chiseled, and you make hundreds of millions of dollars just throwing a ball through a hoop. I was just thinking the other day, I'm like, those guys, like next 3D video game I play, I might like go and be an NBA player. So that's got to be pretty good. But it's amazing how that wasn't enough for a guy like that guy. He's like, I want to make some more money. And you know what that is? Getting lost in the 3D video game, in the Matrix, getting lost in the material stuff. I need more. Oh, I'll make a couple extra million. Oh yeah, that's going to make my life so much better. Totally lost. But anyway, I'm so glad Cash got him. And got Wolf Blitzer coming in from the Situation Room. What's going on, Wolf? Yes, Jeff, just in. We just Cash Patel just released the tweet that they found on his phone that proves his guilt. Oh, let's look at it. There's Terry Rozier's WhatsApp. Hello, Terry Rozier's wife, my wife. I'm going to get involved with an illegal gambling ring. His wife responds, that seems like a bad idea. He responds, no, it's true. Nothing will happen to me. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier. She responded, you're probably right, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier. Let's have lasagna for dinner. Got him. Cash Patel got him again. Got those tweets.
Got him. Got him.
Got those private messages. Good job, Cash. Like the whole thing, like I really wouldn't even bother mentioning it, but it's actually just funny because so many people thought they'd be going after Frazzi or Burla or so many of these things. The Epstein rapists and sex traffickers and all of that. And then they go and they got a couple basketball players that might have thrown a couple games. It's just so, it's so small. But I mention it because it is also kind of funny. And also, like, some of the stuff around it is pretty funny. Like, here's ESPN, and all the sports gambling sort of stuff is, like, on every sport now, it's like all about the gambling. Like, every ad on every sport's about gambling, online gambling. And so here's the guys on ESPN talking about how gambling has really affected the sports stuff, and how in many ways it's bad. And watch in the bottom right-hand corner, because as they're talking, they've got ESPN's gambling site up, ESPN Bet, and watch what happens.
It was something that leagues stayed far away from. It was something that networks like ESPN would stay far away from. Those days are obviously long behind us. You hear a lot about legal sports gambling on this show. The Bussin' Boys, obviously sports gambling is a huge part of what you do, so we put those all out there as a preamble because it might be in the back of people's minds, and we acknowledge that this is a different time and place. However, there is a fine line, not so fine, there is a bold line that obviously has to be drawn.
That's pretty funny. Anyway, just walk through a little bit of Mexico City for you here. You know, as you can see, it's just like in that movie with Denzel Washington, Super Dangerous. Everyone's getting kidnapped out here. Donald Trump's gonna have to come attack the cartels. It's so bad. You know, it's funny because I was thinking, because like on Monday, when was it, Monday or Tuesday? I forget what day it was. Or no, maybe it was the weekend. Anyway, when I got the call, basically from my wife, saying they're about to do a blood transfusion, to me it was no different than I was Denzel Washington in Mexico City and someone had just kidnapped my daughter. I like hopped in my car and got down there as soon as possible. Like, I had all my guys, like we were traveling in like numerous SUVs, picking up everything we needed along the way. Came running in the hospital. I'm like, do not stick that needle in her arm with the COVID's lethal injection people. And so I actually got them to stop. And as I mentioned, I barricaded the door and we got the Tesla machine on her, because what they said was her hemoglobin was really low and she really needed a blood transfusion after her surgery. And but after the Tesla, she was like way better. And they actually wouldn't release her from the hospital immediately. They're like, no, she needs like a blood transfusion. Her hemoglobin's way too low. And I said, after doing the Tesla, test it again. And they did. And they're like, what happened? Like, everything's perfect now. And I was like, I didn't say. You know what I do? Actually, like, something I've learned over the last few years, I don't tell any of these people, like nobody out here in the Matrix, I don't tell them anything I know. There's no point. Like, if I would have told the doctors or the nurses or whatever, oh, I've got a plasma machine, they'd just be like a fluoride stare. There's no point. Or, you know, they cause a problem, like, you can't do that or something like that. Anyway, so we got my wife out, and they've been doing a few more tests, just making sure she's okay. And her doctor actually said, because we didn't tell him either, I don't know what happened, but she's like way better. But he mentioned to her, he said, it is a little low still though. And if you did do a blood transfusion, you'd probably feel even better than you currently feel. And she actually feels pretty good. But she had lost a fair amount of blood during the surgery. And so I said, well, I'll do the blood transfusion because I am compatible with her blood, compatible with everyone's blood. And I know mine's good. So, and I've never taken the COVID's lethal injection or anything. So I went to go get blood so she'd have some extra blood. And I go to the blood donation place in the hospital. And first of all, they asked me like 1,000 questions. He was trying to find anything like that I was sick with. And all of them were like, zero. Nothing. I have nothing. He's like, do you have this problem? I'm like, nope. Yeah, this problem, nope. He's even like sneaking up behind me, trying to like find things wrong with me. He punched me in the kidneys without even like letting me know as he's walking behind me. He goes, did that hurt? I was like, no. And he's like, never really had anyone who has like nothing wrong with him. It's like, well, I've got a Tesla machine, but I didn't tell him that. So then they hooked me up to the blood thing. They sit me down. It was actually really nice. All the Mexico City hospitals are so nice. It's such a pleasure compared to like third world places like the US or Canada. Everyone's so nice. And so they put me on the blood thing, and the girl walks away for like a minute. And she's walking past like a minute later, and she looks down, because they had a little timer going. She looks at the timer, and her eyes opened up huge. And she started calling people in. She's like, get in here, you gotta see this. And apparently, I didn't know what they're like. I was like, what's going on? And they're actually they're taking photos. And when it was finished, they took a photo of the time, and then they told me what it was. And they took a photo of me to put on the wall. They said, you broke the record for the fastest blood transfusion of, I think it was 450 milliliters of blood is what the amount it was. So about half a liter.
Rudolf Steiner, whose teachings led to anthroposophical medicine, biodynamic farming, and the Waldorf School, said that the heart is a 7-sided regular form that sits in an imaginary box in the chest. Regular means that all 7 sides are identical. Plato described 5 platonic solids, and Steiner said there was a 6th one. He also said that the heart is not a pump. This fantastic claim was vindicated by Frank Chester, who figured out how to design a 7-sided regular form. This 6th platonic solid is now called the chestahedron, and it fits perfectly inside a cube at an angle of 36 degrees off-center to the left, the exact same angle that the heart sits in the chest. When submerged in water and spun, 2 counter-rotating vortices are formed. Recent scientific studies have shown that these 2 vortices facilitate the closing of the valves, and when the vortices don't form properly, blood clots will appear. The man who unfolded 1,000 hearts, Paco Torrent Guasp, discovered that the heart is a single muscular band, folded over itself in a spiraling pattern. The heart itself is a vortex of tissue. It is not a pump, it is a vortex machine. For centuries, it was believed that matter can only exist in 3 states, such as water, which can exist as liquid, ice, and vapor. Human cells are 70% water, but most of this water is not in any of these 3 states. We have recently learned that with water, there is a 4th state. This 4th state is called the plasma state, gel phase, exclusion zone, or structured water. And this is what pushes your blood through the entire cardiovascular system. Fueled by infrared energy from its environment, the water in our body becomes an electrical propulsion system. A certain percentage of the water in our body becomes structured water, and the rest remains normal liquid water, or bulk water. The structured water becomes negatively charged and forms the gelatinous outer walls of our capillaries, veins, and arteries. These negatively charged outer walls continuously propel the positively charged bulk water within, carrying the blood with it. This propulsion system will run indefinitely, so long as it stays charged. And the way you charge it is with the Earth's electromagnetic field, infrared energy, and positive thought. The work of Dr. Masaru Emoto has scientifically demonstrated that water exposed to loving human words and thoughts is transformed into its natural hexagonal shape. It becomes structured at a molecular level based on our positive intention. This new model shows that it is the blood that pumps the heart, not the other way around. And in order to keep the flow strong and healthy, our best medicine is to connect to the earth, get sunlight, love ourselves, and love one another with physical touch.
And I didn't actually ask them, I wish I did, the exact time, but it was around, I know it was very fast. It was like 5 minutes or less maybe. And I kind of looked it up later. And pretty much the quickest most people do is like 6 minutes. And a lot of people take 10 minutes. Some people take 15 minutes. Now, here's the thing. When I found out I broke the record for the fastest blood coming out, it was with a little bit of, where am I? Go down here. Is with a little bit of, I didn't feel like I was the true champ because I know almost everyone's got blood clots. So they're like, you're the champ. And I was like, yeah, but I'm playing against it's like being in the Special Olympics and I'm like Usain Bolt or something. It's like, yeah, I won, but everyone's like massively damaged. But I looked it up afterwards actually, because I was curious. I'm like, well, is that even a good thing? Like maybe it's not great that my blood just like pumps, right? And I actually did ask him. He said, no, it's fine. Like it's not a bad thing at all. And so I actually went and looked it up. So here's some key factors influencing speed. Obviously, if you're well hydrated, it'll flow better. Your vein size and quality makes a difference. Your blood volume and pressure, your blood pressure makes a difference. And I don't know what hematocrit is. But it says the normal flow rate is 40 to 60 milliliters a minute, which a full pint, 450 to 500 milliliters, is 8 to 12 minutes. So there you go. So I was around 5 minutes or less. So I asked AI a bit more about it. Is it a sign of good health? And it said, yes, strong circulation, fast flow suggests excellent vascular health. Your heart is pumping efficiently and your veins, arteries are in top shape. This reduces risk for issues like hypertension or poor circulation. It also says hydration and fitness. Active people, runners, athletes often have this. No hidden issues. Slow flow can flag dehydration, anemia, low blood pressure. So your average donor, 10 to 12 minutes. Athletes can sometimes be 7 to 9 minutes. Dehydrated or slow flow or blood clotted people, 15 plus minutes. And I'm the champ. Maybe not the world champ. Maybe someone's beat me, but I broke the record at that hospital. So much so they took my photo, so they're going to put it on the wall. So, I wonder if one of you at one point is going to be in some random Mexico City hospital and see my photo on the wall at some point. That'll just be funny. But anyway, so I'm the blood flow champ. And that's just another thing that every time I do stuff like this, they're always like, wow. Like I did the quantum biofeedback machine and my age levels are like decades lower than my true age, you could say. And I think most of it, maybe not all, but most, is from the Tesla machine. Like my life has changed dramatically since I got that Tesla machine. I've got so much energy, which makes you go to the gym more, which makes you feel like, oh, I'll go in the hyperbaric chamber. You just have more energy, more, so I do even more stuff. So I'm in like a hyperbaric all the time, doing Tesla machine, Tesla blast, sauna, sweating it out, exercise. And yeah, so I'm the blood flow champ of that hospital in Mexico City. It's pretty funny. And then right after that, someone sent me this. And this is a guy who's in the Tesla club. And it was about 6 months ago that he wrote in the club and to me that his son had just ruptured or basically had a complete detachment of his Achilles tendon, which if you follow sports at all, you know that's like a year-long recovery and you may never fully recover from it. Your tendon fully detaches from your bone basically. And like I said, that was about maybe 6 months, 5 months ago. And he said he had just got the Tesla, so he's going to do the Tesla on his son. So just yesterday, he sent me this. Hey Jeff, do you remember my boy? Complete Achilles tendon snap, absolute minimum to recover of 9 months. He won the club championship at less than 5 months. No walkover either. Incredibly high player defeated in the final. So his son completely ruptured his Achilles tendon. And like I said, for your average person, it's usually 9 months to a year before you can even start training again, much less get back into it. And less than 5 months is what he said. So it was 4 months and something after he did it. He was already winning the championship in whatever that was, squash or racquetball or something, which is unheard of. I actually even went on AI and asked, I said, what's like the fastest sort of pros? What's their fastest recovery times from an Achilles tendon rupture? The mean return to play across major leagues, 5 to 11 months, with RTP rates of 61 to 95%. Notable quick recoveries in high-profile pros. Terrell Suggs, an NFL linebacker, recovered in 6 months. Jason Tatum, ongoing as of mid-2025, speculated to be on pace for one of the fastest elite recoveries, potentially 6 to 8 months, but not yet verified as full. Kobe Bryant, which Big Pharma took out, and the cult, recovered in 8 months. And NFL, MLB, NBA meta-analytics average RTP is 6 months, but with reduced performance and shorter career post-returns. So the very fastest that those pros have ever seen is 6 months. And usually, as it said there, that just means they can start trying to get back into like conditioning and stuff like that after about 6 months. And this kid with the Tesla machine recovered in less than 5 months, which is basically like a world record. It's another Tesla world record. And that's what I said. The fact that no pro sports athletes or sports teams know about plasma yet is possibly one of the biggest opportunities for anyone watching this video out there. If you know anybody who's like a well-known athlete or is connected to one of those big pro sports teams, all you need to do is go talk to them and tell them about the Tesla machine. And if you want, I'll even help, because I want to see this happen. I actually want the Edmonton Oilers to get it first in the NHL. That's my only thing. I won't do any other hockey team other than the Oilers. But any other pro sports team, I'll actually go and show them and do it with them and, get them so all their athletes know to use it before each game, during each game, after each game for recovery. And they will probably win whatever championship it is, because they will recover from injuries so much faster. Like, for example, I'm still trying to get it to the Edmonton Oilers. One of their top players is still injured. His name's Zach Hyman. He's actually Jewish, for everyone out there who thinks I'm anti-Semitic, which doesn't make any sense because I'm not Semitic. But I'm like, we got to get that Jew back. He's like the 4th best player on the Oilers, and he's still not back, and they're kind of sucking at the start of this season. So I'm trying to get the Oilers and that Jew the Tesla machine so he can get back playing. So if you know anyone, feel free to contact me. You just go to dollarvigilante.com, find our contact us section, let us know who you know or what you know, and I'll actually try to help you. And I'll tell you, we'll do a deal with them where it's like, hey, we'll charge you, I don't know. We'll show you it works, and you guys will know it works. And we'll charge you, I don't know, $1 million just to start. But if you win the championship in the next 2 years, you owe us like $20 million or something, right? Which isn't that much to most of these teams anyway. We'll do a deal like that, and they probably will. So there's an opportunity for everyone out there. Or if you're just an athlete, this is one of the biggest, you'll have way more energy, and you'll recover from any injuries way faster than any of your competition. And no one will know how. Just like with my wife. They're like, she looked really bad an hour ago and something changed. It's like, yep. I could see athletes using this at halftime, just getting totally recharged, because that's what it does. It's actually incredible. Anyway, it's so incredible that no one even still knows about it. There's a couple Jews out there, they're like, he's a scammer. It's like, okay. And I'm on BitChute, no one even knows about it. It's kind of sad. I'd like the whole world to know about it, because it actually changed so much about this world. People are getting destroyed in the US. It's unbelievable the amount that people pay for healthcare, which mostly just kills them anyway. But they're all brainwashed and mind controlled to think they need it. But the amounts they pay is unbelievable. Your average US family health insurance premium, in 1999 it was $6,000 a year, 2003 $9,000 a year, 2007 $12,000 a year. Now it's $27,000 a year for a family for their health insurance premium.
All right, the health insurance industry is an absolute sham. I don't know how I'm paying $1,500 a month for health insurance, but every single person in my policy has a $6,000 copay, which means I've been going to the doctor all year. I thought my copays went towards our premiums and the amount that we had to pay to get coverage. However, it doesn't. My wife just had a serious event. She had to go to the hospital. She had to have life-saving surgery. And we got a bill in the mail from the hospital for over $3,000 for this procedure. And I'm thinking back, like, I'm paying $1,500 a month for this health insurance. I've personally paid thousands of dollars over the course of this year in copays for myself and stuff that I had to go to the doctors for. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, I'm gonna spend $1,500 a month for the next 12 months. What is that? Like 18 grand. And then I have to spend $6,000 a person just to get them to cover things. So you're looking at, we have 5 people in our family. If all of us have to go to the hospital, that's $30,000 in copays that we have to pay on top of the $18,000 in monthly charges to actually get coverage. As a father of 3, I'm strongly considering canceling our health insurance policy, which feels very irresponsible and wrong.
I don't know how people are even doing that. Your average family in the US, if they want health insurance, it's $27,000 a year. That's more than $2,000 a month. Like if someone's making, I don't know, $100,000 a year, after taxes in the US, that's like $70,000. Which is like $5,000 a month. They're paying $2,000 of it to health insurance. I don't know how people are surviving. I don't think they even are. And when you think about it, the Tesla, like you will be able to heal everything that anyone in your family has basically forever. Basically forever. For your entire lifetime, you'll have this machine. You'll also become like superhuman. You'll start de-aging. And it costs less than half of what 1 year of health insurance costs in the US. And then you have other people who are like, oh, that's a ripoff. It's like, what are you talking about? What? $11,000 to have perfect health for you and your family and all your friends for your entire life and de-age. And have energy levels like you're 12 years old again. It's a little too much, Jeff. Well, better get to work then, I guess, because it's pretty amazing. And if you don't have the funds to do it, I'm not like making fun of you. But you should subscribe to our stuff because we're always making quite a bit in the markets. It's been interesting. The gold market, as I mentioned in the last video, it went up to 4,400 and dropped to like 4,000, so down about 10%. So many people were like, gold crashed. Here's the chart of the gold crash, by the way. There it was. It was brutal. I hope everyone survived. No, it pulled back slightly to the point it was like a week ago, which we actually predicted and actually profited on because of our newsletter. Ed Bugos had said that. Actually, one of our people made, 400 or 600 times the price of their Dollar Vigilante subscription just in the last week because of it. So you might want to go, dollarvigilante.com/subscribe. But we're really near the end of this whole system. Like the US government now has just surpassed $38 trillion worth of debt. It's going up about $1 trillion every 3 or 4 months, I think now. Remember Donald Trump? Gonna balance the budget, gonna pay off the debt, gonna bring in Elon Musk with his chainsaw and Doge and cut all the expenses.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
Yeah, whatever happened to that? Remember like 2 or 3 months ago they said that Barack Obama was getting indicted for treason? Whatever happened to that? Or did they just distract people from the usual Epstein type stuff and the COVID's genocide? That's all it is. It's all distraction all the time. It's just incredible. And I've been pointing out how insiders on Wall Street, these are like company insiders in like some of the biggest companies in the world. all they've been doing is selling for months now. And that includes like just in the last few weeks. The top 200 insider trades in the last week, not a single buy. Yeah, we are on the precipice of a massive financial collapse. And your average person has no idea. They don't subscribe to our newsletter. They're not going to profit from everything going on or the crash. Most people are going to get wiped out, whereas we're going to make fortunes shorting it all. But your average person doesn't even know about the Dollar Vigilante newsletter, which featured Bitcoin at $3, by the way, and Ethereum at $2. We've been recommending gold since the day it was founded in 2010 when it was around 700, it's now 4,000. And your average person, like no one in the world knows about it. Basically just you and a couple people on BitChute. It's incredible, but it's true. It doesn't even cost us that much. It's like $20 a month. dollarvigilante.com/subscribe, trying to help everyone. And it's crazy to think too, so many of these boomer types who are all just, they've got so many health problems. The medical system has destroyed almost all of them. But a lot of them have like $1 million in mutual funds and stuff or more. Their house is worth $1 million. They're like all millionaires. And to think they could probably cure themselves of everything and actually de-age if they just got a Tesla machine. But if you try to tell any of them, they will think you're insane. They won't hear a word you got to say because they're under mind control. If it's not on the television programming or a guy in a butcher coat doesn't tell them to do it, they're programmed to think you're insane. So for like a fraction, because most of them are millionaires, for like 1% or less of their capital, they could actually fix all their problems, heal themselves, de-age, connect more with source. But they're so far from source, that's why they can't actually hear this. Most people can't. They're too disconnected from source. They can't actually hear and see the truth about anything going on. And that's fine. That's just the way it is. It's their video game. It's how it's going to end. Anyway, just find it so incredible. I keep knowing about and telling people about stuff that is so amazing. And your average person who's ever heard my name is like, oh, isn't he a scammer or something? There was a Jewish guy who had a website about it. It's like, yeah, that's what they do. It's incredible. Anyway, just walking through dangerous Mexico City here right now. It's just like they told you on the news, guys. Surprised I haven't got kidnapped on this walk. It's pretty brutal out here. Anyway, we should go find my son at least to finish this up. We don't have apples, but we're gonna be leaving here soon anyway. But I gotta say, Mexico City is a lot nicer than even I thought it was. Like, this is so nice. And you can just tell like the connection of people here, and there's like music, and no one's like on their phones and stuff. Obviously some people are, but like everyone talking. It's all super nice. And what's another thing I've been telling you for more than a decade now? Mexico is not what they say it is. A lot of people listen to me on that one. Anyway, we'll leave it there. I'm just having too good of a time. I almost don't even want to end this. Maybe I shouldn't end it. Maybe I should just ramble on. I got nothing to do. I have nothing else to say. Well, I always could find something to say. Well, I'm just going to be walking here for a few minutes. Why don't I just keep walking and talking? Might as well. You can ask for your refunds, get all angry in the thing below. It's like, you made me watch an extra 5 minutes. You just walking through Mexico City. You didn't really say too much. Well, actually, if you pay attention, I'm actually telling you a lot of things. But it just goes over people's heads. They're just sitting there. Tell us the crypto pick. All caught in the matrix. It's got to do the work. Actually, a guy joined the Vigilante Insiders Club. It was pretty amazing, actually. Guy doesn't have a lot of money. He's like in his 60s. He lives in Champaign, Illinois, USA. And for some reason, he joined. And he's telling us, like, should I sell my Ripple? Should I buy more Ripple? And we were like, no, Ripple's like a scam. But then I got talking to him, and I was like, you know what you need to do is go sit every morning and just look at your mind, think about your life, and just like listen. And also like pray, because he actually said, I actually asked him, I said, you know, you're talking about all this Ripple stuff, you want to make money and stuff like that. I said, if there was one thing that you could have that you don't have right now, what would it be? And he actually said, the one thing would be to meet the love of his life, because I don't know if he's widowed or divorced or something, feeling very lonely. And I said, okay, what I want you to do is every morning go and meditate and pray and actually ask for it, but also listen and look at yourself and see if that's what you really want. Because what you're actually doing is projecting that you want to feel love in this matrix, but you think it comes from outside of you. And I was basically telling him, just look inside, it's all inside. And it was actually pretty incredible. 2 days later, he posted this long thing of all these things he realized, all these changes that are happening in his life, all from just a couple days of basically the self-work. That's what I call the self-work. So anyway, for all the people out there, they're like, you know, you talk about the Tesla machine, it costs $11,000. Talk about Dollar Vigilante, it costs $20 a month. Talk about Anarchapulco, it costs $600 for like 5 full days of like incredible stuff. You never give out anything for free, Jeff. I do in every single video. You don't pay attention. Do the work. It's all free. It's all inside of you. Just like that guy. His life changed dramatically. He joined the Vigilante Insiders Club. I don't know how or why, because he doesn't even have that much money. But it turned out to be absolute life-changing stuff for him. And so I'll tell you too, go do that. None of this is real. If you're all caught up in all these things, social media and money and fear and greed, and that's all part of the matrix. Go sit every morning and watch your own mind. And just watch what's going on. No one does that. Your mind's crazy. Your mind is causing all your problems. And as you watch it, you'll start to notice things. And you'll start to realize how it all works. Realize you can actually change it all. And it's all free. There you go. For everyone. Oh, Jeff, you just trying to make some money. You know, anyone who ever says that, I've never in my life, ever, said about anything, it's too expensive, you're ripping people off, it's too expensive. Never. Because that's not how my mind thinks. Someone's offering me something, they say this is the price. It's up to me to decide if it's worth it to me or not. If it's not, fine. But I would never go, oh, you're ripping people off and stuff like that. The people who do that will never, ever actually have any financial wealth because they've actually got it all wrong in their head. It's actually communist programming. It's been put into most people. But on top of that, financial wealth isn't wealth. True wealth is your connections, your family, your dogs, whatever it is, the moments, being present in this life in every moment, not numbing yourself with poison like alcohol, being completely present, noticing the beauty in everything, doing the self-work and sitting and asking and receiving from the Creator until you get to the point that you realize that none of this is actually real and you actually created it all. And that's all free. How many of you going to listen? Not many. If some of you did, you should come to Anarchapulco. I'm telling you right now, you'll be around hundreds or thousands of people who are all doing this sort of stuff. And I think it's well worth it. If it resonates with you, definitely find a way to come. I've known many people who said they weren't going to go, but they just listened to their gut and just took a chance. Even though they couldn't really afford it, you know, it's international travel, hotels, and amazing things happen to them. So listen to your intuition, listen to your gut. And if it's telling you not to go, then don't go. It's pretty simple. Anyway, I'll leave it there. It's almost nighttime here in dangerous Mexico City. Pray for me, guys. Gonna get shot out here. Oh, there he is. Happy, happy, happy. Adios.